Ashes of Creation, one of the absolutely most anticipated current MMOs, just had a pretty huge dev update. Let's check it out.
Hello, everyone, and we find ourselves now in the world of Vera once again. And
Looks
Bucky, I
good.
think you were talking a little bit about a freehold that you have nearby in the Riverlands here, where we're going to perhaps participate in some of your. What do you got on that freehold? What are you doing over there?
So we got a lot of farming stuff mainly is what we're focusing on, but we also have a artisan building as well.
Oh,
as a
nice.
forge station because we got some good mining opportunities out here.
Okay,
So,
very cool. And I see you kind of are close to this kind of these ruins with your freehold, I guess. Is there any happening spots around this area for you guys?
yeah, for sure. I mean, we got some mob packs around here. Players are coming through here a lot to
Ooh.
obviously get the this nice resource here. We got some alacanite.
Is that why you formed your freehold near this precious resource? Talk to me a little bit about this resource, Corey and or Mike.
The game looks good. Honestly, this looks a lot better than what we saw in the Cyclope raid that they showed. But you know, even that looked pretty well. But this looks kind of beautiful. The aesthetic is nice.
Oh yeah, that's so this is halcyon. It's a kind of a mid-tier journeyman gem, and yeah, it's just sort
Bruh, you're supposed to look at it while he talks.
of a something you would use in weapons and
Just
for
looks
decorations,
away.
jewelry. So it's pretty sought
Yo.
after for a lot of crafts. So it's pretty valuable.
I love
Respectful.
I love just its look. I mean, it adds a really kind of magical blues to this area. Wow, this is a beautiful. Now, Bucky, I know why you made your freehold here. This is a beautiful view.
Yep, just another beautiful day in Vera.
Oh my gosh. Do you ever
Looks
get like
good, yeah.
afraid of heights here? I mean, this is kind of crazy.
Gives you kind of these New World vibes, right?
I think actually I might have something that could help you with this. Hold on, let me see.
And that's good because the look of New World is good. The world is good. So that's what you kind of want to be going for because New World has a good world. Everything else, questionable and bad. But the look, definitely there.
Just to bring it up here, and then if you ever need to use it one day, feel free to. You're more than welcome.
Oh yes, beautiful, perfect. Oh,
Yeah.
it's even on theme for the fall weather.
I know, exactly.
Nice.
It's a Drake of the Canopy.
Perfect.
Yeah, if you ever want to take him for a spin, just let me know.
Okay.
Looks
All right, but,
okay.
yeah, there you go. Actually, I'll put him away. He's kind of afraid of heights himself.
Oh,
So I can mine this. So I've maxed out my artisanship levels through a little bit of a cheat, but if you have the tools and oops, do I have the tools? Okay, guys, you're seeing a little bit of a preview of some of the work in progress UI with the artisanship windows, and obviously you have a number of tools here that are possible. This UI, of course, is
nice.
getting completely revamped. This is just kind of the
Upgradable tools are very cool because that is a goal that you want to go for. That's like the best part of RuneScape, upgrading your stuff slowly. That's the best part of New World, upgrading your stuff slowly. So things like this is really, really cool.
the wireframing for it. But talk to me a little bit about the tool setup. Why is it important to have these kind of tools? How do tools aid you in your gathering adventures?
Yeah, so each gathering profession will have 3 tools. The tools kind of come online as you progress through the profession, and the different resource types for each one of the profession may require
Decent
different
animations.
tools. So you basically want to carry around the right tool for the job, and tools along with artisanship gear will have stats on it, so you can itemize towards how you want to gather, how fast you want to gather.
This is, by the way, on 1.25 speed, so it does look a little bit off.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks great. I love the the destruction of the actual like.
Decent physics.
Is it halcyanite? Halconite? What is
Halcyanite.
Yeah, halcyanite. Yeah, I mean,
Nice.
we sort of set the precedent with the trees, right? So we're trying to get similar feelings that the trees bring with our other gatherables.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
looking great.
Now, where is your freehold?
It's just over this hill here, off to the left of the path. I think you might be able to see my
Yeah.
the house there with the chimney smoke as well.
Ooh, okay.
Off there, see it?
Yeah, that looks good. How do we let's get over there a little bit faster. Maybe we can
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
it's open world
Oh, I don't think
housing.
people have
Make your house
seen the,
wherever you want.
Lightfoot yet. Let's bring him out. Oh, look at him. How cool is that? Oh, he looks so good. I love
I honestly think it's a double-edged sword. The fact that you summon a mount, but then you need to click on it to get on it. I think people are gonna get real tired of that real fast.
the eyes. Super cool. Do we know who did this one? Was this Jinsey?
I think
I believe it was a
but-
Jinsey, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this guy's fast.
It's high speed.
It is a rabbit after all, you know.
That's so cool. Wait, we got to slow it down a little bit. I can't approach at such fast pace to your freehold. That would be disrespectful.
Yes,
Here we
thank you.
go.
Don't
That's-
trample my plants, please. Yeah.
Oh,
Yo.
perfect. This is great.
The horde of rabbits.
So, what have you geared? It looks like, I mean,
Looks
you don't
good.
have a lot of buildings on the freehold for yours, Bucky. Is that because you're kind of trying to utilize the land for farming and I know, of course, you are Dr. Bucky, so the animal husbandry system and like
That's
livestock.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So I sacrificed some of the space I could have used for buildings to just have more farm space, basically. So as you can see here, we got some, we got some sheeps, we got some cows and pigs, and we got some chickens back there, and we have a lot of space for different farmables. So
Cool,
we have
cool,
wheat
cool.
here, corn, and then tomatoes over there as well.
Oh, this looks great. So now,
A cooking station, it
Mike,
looks
when
like.
we're talking about these types of farmable spaces, obviously, as we discussed previously, the customization options for your freehold are really kind of up to you and what you want to delve into on the processing side of things and how you want to use the space. But players who want to participate in the farming, talk to me a little bit about that system. I mean, the intent, excuse me, to provide this open area space for people to utilize just growing different crop rotations and the livestock, and how does that feed the general processing system?
Yeah, so the farming is going to generally focus on growing crops like this and then dealing with livestock over there like that. But
nice.
generally, what you want to
Okay.
do is gather some seeds from either vendor or in the world. You can gather or find some seeds on the open content, and you're going to come to your freehold, plant them.
Okay, so this is a mistake, I can already tell. The fact that you can plant it, cool. The fact that it takes so long to harvest, that's not cool. You should have like a site, the old-timey site where you move like this and cut it down or something like that, even though that's technically not how they do it. Doesn't matter. We're kind of living in a fantasy here, Magic also didn't really happen like 100 years ago. So, it would be nice to make these things faster because this looks tedious. I'm not gonna lie. This looks just like a bunch of tedious work.
And then depending on what kind of processing level you have and what kind of processing stations or buildings you might have, you might grow crops like a little faster,
Nice.
produce like better crop rotations, and just
Yeah, this looks like 5 minutes just to harvest everything.
generally farm things that's unique to farming produce like compared to in the open world.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I just got a bunch of wheat. By the way, I apologize, Bucky, on stealing your wheat. But
No,
think
go for it. I
you
got
need
plenty. It's harvest season. We got a big crop coming. I need some help getting all the harvest done.
Yeah, it looks super cool.
Another cool thing
Corn.
about farming too, since it has the livestock, is that it kind of feeds directly into hunting and synergizes with animal husbandry. So, if you're interested in raising animals, taming animals, farmers will have a use for them.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, animal husbandry has
Raising and butchering animals, great. Pete is now gonna join this game. Oh boy, is that gonna be fun.
multiple lanes of ways to breed and specialize your creatures, and
Chickens.
mounts and pets are one of the more popular ones, but then obviously livestock as well. So not only can you breed your animals for traits such as like movement speed and health and different combat stats, but you also be able to breed them for desirable traits like fertility, increased harvesting yield, and even increased yield from butchering.
What are you guys
Yo, even picking up eggs is actually an action that takes time. I'm not a fan. They have to change this. Or add some kind of NPCs that will harvest when commanded or something like that.
doing? Oh my god, that is awesome.
This is
Leave our eggs alone.
makes them more comfortable with you taking their
God.
eggs away. So
Leave our
Sweet
eggs
chicken morale.
alone.
Yeah, they won't peck us if we come with their style here.
Very nice. Very nice. I just got some eggs. Okay, now, one of the other things that we wanted to obviously collect player feedback on, I'm going to open up the inventory just to kind of take a look at
looks
the
good so far.
materials resource bag. Talk to me a little bit about how we are implementing resources differently from your general item inventory.
Good.
Good.
Good,
So
that's
we're
good.
taking an approach from other games, but the idea of resources is going to have somewhat of a slot base. Instead of having a slot base like traditional MMO, we're going to look for like a Tetris kind of idea of having different shapes and different stack sizes, kind of like that, to make some interesting choices out in the
That's
world,
the...
where you have to do inventory management.
Okay, everything looks cool so far. Like, it actually kind of looks amazing. It looks natural, which is kind of a big deal. Usually when it comes to housing, most games make it look like, it's cool, but it doesn't seem real at all, The suspense absolutely is destroyed on most housing. This actually looks legit, except the fact that there's like no fences and the animals just don't go willy-nilly wherever they want. That's kind of not just destroying the suspense, but it does look cool. It does look legit. But all of these things that are going to take such a long time to harvest, like harvesting all of that probably is going to take you like 5 to 10 minutes. That's too long. That is flat out too long. And, well, the idea of a Tetris-style gameplay to do when harvesting things, a separate slot for harvesting materials, good, excellent, honestly. But at the same time, everyone's gonna get tired of playing backpack Tetris with ideas like this. It's gonna get lame. It's gonna get annoying. People are gonna get pissed with time. You know, it's a cool. In gaming, there exist a lot of cool ideas, a lot of cool things in general, but after a while, they just become tedious. Like, for example, Diablo 4 not being able to teleport to dungeons instantaneously. Yeah, it's cool that you get to traverse the world and do stuff like that, but at the same time, it gets really boring after the 10th time, and it gets absolutely devastating to your morale after the 100th time. And this seems kind of the same type of thing. Like, no flying mounts like in World of Warcraft Classic. You know, you kind of want it. But at the same time, going to the same dungeon the 10th time and you need to, like, spend 5 minutes instead of 1 minute flying to it, you kind of get to understand why you actually need flying, you know? Things like this. Convenience is always going to win out on things like this over the long time. So these are technically cool systems for a week after release. After that, everyone's going to hate them.
Management and have a pick and choose depending on like what you have available, what kind of bags you have.
Now, I seem to have kind of run out of space. Maybe I can grab. Do you have any?
Oh yeah, if you want, you can come put some stuff in the chest in the house, or are your bags too small, or what's?
Yeah, no, I only have
Yeah.
one
Let's
bag.
check
It's
the
called a
house.
Sanctus resource bag.
Oh yeah, I got some extra bags for you. Actually, you can take some from my chest.
Oh, this
some
is
upgraded
a
bag.
nicely decorated home here.
Decent, yeah.
Oh, you
Okay.
have the. You have the. Oh man, I can't remember what we called this, but this was for the pandemic. Everyone who I think registered prior to a certain date during the pandemic, Margaret will know. We granted this item to people, or will be granted to people. That's cool. It's modeled. Look at that. I think Ryan Richmond actually did the modeling for that, and then John
Looks good,
Wayne, I
yeah.
think, did the implementation. Very cool. That looks awesome.
Yeah,
Where's
The
where's
aesthetics
chest
looked
looking
good.
Right here by the fireplace.
Oh, okay, sweet. Let me see here. Materials. Oh, okay. All right. So, what do I do here? Just grab this. Let
Yeah, you
me-
just take them all and swap it out. I think.
I'll equip them. Okay, cool. Actually, now this is obviously work in progress UI. This is not the final UI, but
Yeah. Yeah. This will piss people off very fast as time passes. Novel idea, but never gonna work in real life.
this kind of demonstrates the functionality of the system. Let me go over here. What can I do with these sheep?
You can harvest them for wool. Shoot them.
All right. This is not going to hurt them, is it?
Straight up
No.
RuneScape, huh?
You do a good
Hello.
job.
Oh,
Shooting
pretty
is
sheep.
a non-destructive.
Pretty
crop.
sheep.
Yes.
Give me your wool.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Hi.
gave me some
Hi,
wool and
sheep.
now it's naked. That's so sad.
It'll grow back.
Oh, how so
Makes
talk
sense.
perfect. That's a good point. So it'll grow back. Talk to me a little bit about kind of, the intent behind the livestock here and the crops as well. Like you're planting and you're placing these livestock on farmable space within your freehold, and then over time they mature and become processable.
This looks a little bit off. Also, notice how there's the wall that separates the housing area from the rest of the world, and now there's a wall here because this is a pre-built thing that you can place. So it doesn't look like you can actually make these pens from scratch. It looks like they are pre-built and you need to just rotate and place them, which is kind of a little bit like meh, because they should. It looks strange, right? There's this wall here, then there's this wall there. It's like, that's kind of stupid. It's a small thing, obviously, but it would be, well, that's probably a quality of life update at some point because it's a super minor thing, but you get what I'm talking about. This wall should combine with that wall so it looks better, because housing is about looking good, not only functionality and storage.
Or how does that work?
Oh yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. Certain things, like for the crops, for example, you need to acquire seeds first, which can be acquired through a number of ways. But once you plant them, You'll have to water them and care for them, and then after a certain point, depending on the crop itself, would be when you can harvest them.
Oh, leaves
And then you
falling,
can
that's
replant them at
nice.
that point. And then for animals, different animals have different, sort of byproducts they can get. Like, so for example, from the cow, you can milk them and get some fresh milk.
Oh my god. But
And turn
they
it
have
into
horns.
butter,
Are
maybe
these-
even.
Is the right cows?
Oh, there's
to milk?
udders. There's udders down there.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's udders.
Okay. Well, let's see. Oh, I got like a little stool. Wow, that's some rapid-paced milking. Holy
Yeah, you know.
smokes. That was crazy. Hold on, let me make sure I got the milk. Oh, we did get the milk. Let me pull it
Can
down
he
here.
kill the cows,
Put some
though?
corn down as well.
Do some
Make a little bit of
reorganization
space.
there.
Yeah, kind of just reorganizing things.
Another sort of interesting thing that you'll see with livestock and other types of things that you can gather is you'll be able to kind of choose the things that you want to gather from it, right? Bucky had mentioned animal byproducts, right? And milk is a byproduct of a cow, and so is beef. So it's up to you, kind of how and when you want to harvest your livestock in certain ways. And same with plants. Maybe you want to take the corn and maybe
Okay,
you want to cut down
harvest the
the
pig,
entire
slaughter it, see what happens.
corn plant
Do it.
to make room for other crops, and there's different byproducts depending on how you interact with that gatherable. So
Now,
Do
this
it.
is going to be another point of good player feedback. So, one, we kind of talked to you and showed you guys a little bit of the systems for planting crops on your freehold, for raising livestock, collecting resources from them. And then the Tetris inventory type system. But this one is more game philosophy / immersion, right? And what you're
Okay.
going to see now, I think, for those of you who are a bit squeamish,
Oh no!
if you want to turn
the
away,
piggy!
understandable. But we're going to get some leather. And what
Yep.
else from this
Does
guy?
the leather
Meat.
grow back?
Um,
Yeah, that's the
yeah.
question,
Some-
right?
Some meat.
kind of whatever you'd expect from a pig. Yep.
Bacon.
All right. Well, all right. I apologize, little buddy.
He's probably
had a
gonna
good
get
long life.
hide.
You did have a good long life.
Happy life on the farm, and now,
Oh God, go to sleep.
now
Oh, we got the hide and the meat. But it's
Ah, yeah,
oh,
it's
that's
hide,
sad.
not
is it
leather.
just
Good.
sleeping? Is it tired? That was intense.
yeah,
for sure. It's sleeping.
Yeah, don't worry. Let's go. Yeah.
Nothing to see here.
Oh.
Sorry, little piglets.
Oh no, not the piglets.
Okay.
No.
We'll take good care of you.
No, let them live a little bit of a
One
life.
day you'll
Right.
become big, and then we'll.
Good. Good.
So, guys, that's a great point of player feedback. Talk to us a little bit about how real / immersive do you want it to be, or do you prefer that perhaps the pigs don't die, but rather they just go to sleep? That's a good question, I think, for a lot of people to give their thoughts on. Okay, so now we have. I'm seeing over here. There's another building. Obviously, we have the home here. We went inside a little bit. This other building. Talk to me a little bit about that. We talked a little bit in the presentation about the profession buildings and them giving access to workstations. What do we have here?
So this is the artisan building that we talked about, and then these give
Processing,
general
okay.
benefits to the freehold. It could be profession specific, it could be just general specific, but it also gives you like access to putting down stations like this. So this would be the metalworking station.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's
And I see
metalworking.
this station's pretty intensive, and that's, I think, something we're going to be showing in a future stream, which is all about the crafting process and the recipe acquisition and the tools, but also a little bit of a
That does
gameplay
look
layer
intense.
that Corey, Mike, you guys have been working on with crafting in the future that we're going to show. But this one's all about processing. And talk to me a little bit about. We talked a little bit about what it takes to go into the fuel, to prep the station, to do the processed goods.
Also, this does tell us that these things are upgradable in the levels, because this is obviously not the end game crafting station, because it's kind of just stone. It's almost completely decrepit.
And then kind of leaving and letting that process over time. Do you expect that players are going to want to like fully kit out their freeholds with the profession building so they have access to all the stations? What would be the benefit of that?
I think so, right? Like, if players are really interested in investing in processing, right? Freeholds are supposed to kind of give the players the furthest reach up to the highest tiers of processing. So, if you want to, allocate most of your space in your freehold for, processing buildings, processing stations, you could create like kind of your own processing plant or factory, and really sort of have a stranglehold on a market or particular goods. So the freehold is supposed to be free space for players to kind of do whatever they'd like, decorate housing, have businesses, or create a processing empire. So
Cool. Very cool. Well, I did get some.
Processing Empire does sound pretty good, you know. The more alternative ways of playing you also add is honestly better. You know, there's PvP, there's PvM, and the trading is something that people don't consider. But there are a lot of people who play these games and they love trading. It is fun watching your gold go up and be the richest guy in the universe.
Some supplies. Whoops. I did get some supplies. Bucky, do you want me to like put this in the chest or anything, or?
Yeah, you can just store it here in my chest for now,
Are
so you
these
can go out.
tomato plants?
Oh yeah, that's right. Just right to harvest these.
Oh. Let's see. Get some other ones here. Very nice. Aw, some more exploded. Oh no.
Those are some not real life tomato plants, by the way. That's very little how tomatoes actually look in real life.
Well, you got some at least, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we're good. All right, let me go put this inside. Wait, let me make sure I actually did get the tomatoes.
Tomato plants, on average, need to be supported. They actually need to be supported by a stick and then they're tied up because tomatoes are pretty heavy, you know? And tomato plants otherwise would just lump over.
I got a full bag at this point almost.
Did I? Oh, I did get some tomatoes. Okay, there we go. All right,
Well,
I'm gonna
the
go
hot
put
tub
this
right here.
I'm gonna go put this in for you. Now, you've obviously done a great job with the decorations here and the furniture. And you know, we don't intend furniture to obviously just be visual aspect of the interior, but functional as well. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so obviously we've seen here the chest, right? The chest is a placeable furniture prop that actually increases the storage capacity of your freehold property. But we're gonna have a variety of other functional furnitures, like besides just even the artisanship stations. So for example,
The fact that he is not just right-clicking the materials and they don't go into the chest is absolutely, by the way, killing me.
we have a bed over here, which you'll be able to sleep in as well, get some rest experience perhaps. Also, we'll have chairs. Those are just like
And
kind
the
of
UI
cosmetic to sit in,
obviously
and,
doesn't seem
yeah,
too
there'll
good.
be a variety of functional prop items as well that'll have actual gameplay uses.
I'm dying
Nice.
inside.
That's awesome. Let's see. I'm just putting all this stuff into the
On efficiency at its peak.
into your storage chest, so you have it.
Very nice.
I
Free
see-
labor.
I see you have some pictures in here as well.
Yep. That's the picture I commissioned of myself.
Oh, is this it? Is that you?
Yes,
It is actual.
me in armor.
It's actual Bucky. That is so great.
I think this is your favorite, Steven.
Yes,
Yep,
the sandals. Oh, that's so
classic.
awesome. That is super cool. Now, obviously, players that we talked a little bit about businesses and how players can kind of stand up different taverns and whatnot. And Bucky, you had stated like one of the reasons why you wanted to have your freehold here in this location was because of some of the access to the rare resources. But there's also some interesting hunting grounds nearby. And you know, one of the things that is interesting about the freehold system is that it's not just architected for processing, but it can also be a profitable location based on where and what you're providing other players access to from a like drink and food tavern perspective.
That is never gonna work, probably. People are gonna mid-max that shit out of the wazoo, and it's never gonna work like that. You are never... There is no game that will ever make a, actual good settlement like this work. Unless you build it in the high-tier, super dangerous zone where anyone can almost attack you, and dare you make like a tavern or something, it's not gonna work. It never works out. Other games have attempted the stuff like this, and it never works. People just min-max it, or they just don't do it, or it's not good enough. Or if it is good enough, then everyone has their own thingamajig like that, unless you have like 500 different buildings, and there is no way in hell you can actually add even like 5 of them in there. But that's like super hard work, and if Ashes of Creation actually did that, that would be huge. Honestly, this game is already slowly but surely shaping out to be pretty good by the looks of it. But I do see a lot of things that are like novelty. Oh wow, this is cool, but in reality, they're gonna have to change it after a week after launch because people hate it so much.
Yeah, we mentioned it before, like there's business types of buildings that you can build. Some of these could be very region specific, like if there was a hunting ground nearby that is very populated, we could set up a tavern, sell like food buffs and drinks that is really good for XP bonuses or increase to your loot chance or something like that. Whatever that may increase some kind of a benefit to the player that is good business, like I said, would be set up here where
New
you could just
world, good, good.
take advantage of the populated player area.
That's awesome. That's super cool. I love it. And you were saying, obviously, having access to an open world where you're not necessarily restricted to the locations that you can place these freeholds, but allowing the players to kind of place them themselves. Obviously, we are going to block out certain areas that can't be placed, like certain
Makes
road
sense.
networks and POIs. But generally, the intent is to provide these freeholds as layable plots in the open world. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So as long as you purchase a certificate from the owning node of the land, you'll be able to place it in many places around the node. Like,
This is probably going to turn into a Final Fantasy type of thing where if people cannot get their houses and there's literally an underground black market and people are trying to hack you for your house and whatnot. Oh, it's going to be wild, boys.
just basically anywhere that's not like a dungeon or a point of interest with monsters, you'll be able to place it in a lot of areas. So players will have a lot of freedom in choosing where they want to build their freehold, lay down their plot. So it'll be a big, like obviously here, like you said, I was looking at we got the mines over there, we got the point of interest, but we also have this large flat area for a lot of farming. And so it was kind of a good mix for this freehold.
I like it. I like actually this.
Love it.
It
Luckily,
looks
very cool
good.
freehold.
That's like the best part. It looks good. It looks natural. Nothing looks out of place. It's nice. You go in the New World, a city. Most of the time, it's like okay, the city is cool. The outside is cool. But there's such an absolute monumental difference between the city and outside. It's kind of a little bit jarring, but it doesn't like take you out of it.
I think I'm getting a little bit tired. You mind if I just take a little nap?
Oh sure, yeah. I mean, it's great,
that
great
cool?
bed. You'll get some rested experience. It'll be perfect.
I was concerned a little bit with the nearby enemy populations. Perhaps maybe you guys can keep watch over me as I go to sleep.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't worry. You'll be safe. We'll
Be
set up
safe
a guard.
here.
Well, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this brief look at Bucky's Freehold. A little
That's
bit
a good
about the processing for livestock as well as crops, and take a look at the new mount, some of the resources that are placed around the Riverlands area, and also a little look at the housing system with some of the furniture that you have access to kind of use and provide a little bit of benefit that you have access to.
Yeah, that's a good
And
animation.
with that being said, I think we'll wish you all adieu and a good night.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent update. It looks good. This is already better than most games on how they do it. Definitely beats what did World of Warcraft have, like encampments, settlements. What was that shit called where you could do daily missions and it was like a mobile game? Way better than that already at the bare minimum. Probably way better than New World because that sucks. And that's pretty much it. I don't know if we can compare this to Final Fantasy, but kind of looking okay. Kind of looking okay, not gonna lie. Anyway, this is Quizzer Since, and thanks for watching, subscribe, and already, and have a good day. Bye-bye.